Hey guys, this is Liz Baldwin. I'm just going to go over 3 different kinds of assignments, and hopefully this will help anybody who's forgotten what you did last week over the weekend. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is log into my account, Office 365, and I'm just going to go through 3 different assignment types that you can upload to Teams. So I'm going to first do a form in Forms. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Forms. And I'm at Home Base, Office 365 Home Base. That's what I like to call it to remind me where all my apps are. Okay, so I can click out of this just so you can, this isn't going to pop up once you've done it. Okay, so I'm going to click New Form. And let's say I'm going to title this Reading Questions Chapter 2. Okay, I can also add a little theme if I want to. Let's see, click on here. If I want to make it colored, say I want to make it green, or I like this little bus, I can add that if I want to. All right, I'm going to go back here. I can also add a picture if I want, so at the top. So I'm going to insert image. I can upload from something I have on my laptop, or I can just search something. So let's say it's about, the reading book's about bears. So let's see, I'm going to go to bears, do a little search. There they come. All right, let's just use this guy because he's already ready. So I'm going to click on him. I'm going to add him to my quiz just to make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, so I'm going to add a question here. I can do multiple choice, or I can do something where they would actually have to type in there. I think I want to have them type in there. So the question's going to be, what is the bear thinking when he eats the fish? Okay, and if you want to give them a little bit more room to write, and to click on long answer to give them a little bit more space. And I definitely want them to answer this question, so I'm going to go ahead and click on required. Okay, so I'm going to add, if I want to add another question, I add new. And then when I'm all finished, I can, I don't want to share it first because I want to make sure I am assigning it first, and then I'm going to share the link so it doesn't confuse kids, and your answers are going to be in 2 different questions. 2 different places is what I mean. I can preview it to see what it looks like. See, I have my little bear picture, and then they have to answer their question. You can see that they have to click submit in order for it to count. Okay, so I'm going to go back right here, and I'm going to go back into Forms. All right, you can see that this has been created. Reading Question Chapter 2, the one that I just finished. Okay, I think now I want to do a quiz. So that was a form. And the difference between forms and quizzes is that a form has different responses and they're not given a point value. But if you want a point value, which might make it a little easier for some things, you're going to go ahead and click on New Quiz. Okay, so I'm going to call this Quiz Music Theory. Okay, and if you remember, I can create a theme here. Oh, there's a bunch of different ones here. And that didn't pop up last time. Maybe it's just for quizzes. All right, let's see, I like the balloons. Okay, I'm going to go back into this box here, and I'm going to add a little image just to make it more interesting. You don't have to do this, of course. Let's see, music notes. Search. I like this one because it's fun. Okay, I'm going to click on that one, and I'm going to add this one to my quiz. Okay, just adds a little something to it. All right, so I'm going to go back to my, you can add a description if you want. Let's say, take this quiz after you practice with your flashcards. Okay, I'm going to add a question. So this one I want to make it multiple choice. So I'm going to say, what is the value of a quarter note in 4/4 time? It looks like you can add pictures here too. And I'm going to say my option 1, let's say I think the value is 1 beat, 2 beats. Okay, so now you can add more options if you want to, and actually let's go ahead and do that just so you can see what it looks like. 3 beats. Okay, now remember this is a quiz, so these didn't show up the last time you were doing the form because there's no right or wrong answer necessarily. You have to actually read it, but this one is a right answer. So what's the value of a quarter note in 4/4 time? It's 1 beat, so I'm going to click this check mark because that's the correct answer. That's really important to remember to do that. Now down here, if there were 2 answers that could be it, then you would click multiple answers. Now of course this is required. Again, you have to do that. You want them to answer the question, so you're going to have to say it's required. And don't forget, if you want to have point values, it'll grade it for you, which makes it kind of nice. You're going to add a point value in here. So I want to be 5 points each or something. So, all right, let's see, let me add another one here. Going to do another multiple choice. What is, what does the word dynamics mean? Okay, option 1, it means something is awesome. It means that it is loud. Dynamics is how loud or how soft a piece of music is. Okay, that's the correct answer. So I'm going to click on the check mark. There are no multiple answers, and notice that it automatically did required this time, but just double check. And it also did point value. Okay, I'm going to see what this looks like so far. So I'm going to go into preview. Okay, and here's my submit button that the kids will click on. All right, I'm going to go back. And again, remember you can share the link, but I would not share the link before you actually assign the assignment in Teams. Otherwise, they're going to click on that link, and then you're going to have to come back into Forms to find their responses, which would be right here. That just means that you have some kids turning it in through assignments in Teams and some kids turning it in through the link. And it just makes it a little bit more complicated. So I would save this for after you posted the assignment, or just don't share it at all so that everyone's forced to go to the assignment in Teams. All right, so I have created a music theory quiz reading question form, which is more open-ended, that you would actually have to grade. I'll leave that here for now. And we're going to go back to, there's these buttons right here that have multiple, show you where all your apps are. See, it says App Launcher. I'm in Forms right now, and if I want to go back to home base, I could click this, but I am just going to go to Teams. Now I have to assign the quiz and the form that I just created. But remember, just because you created them over here does not mean that they're going to be assigned. You actually have to retrieve them from this area. So I'm going to click on Teams. Okay, I'm going to go and find one of my teams down here that I can create it in. I'm going to call it Test Team for now. Okay, so remember there are two places where you can find the assignments, right here or over here. I'm going to go ahead and click on Assignments over here on the left-hand side. All right, so this one makes me go through the whole thing again, which is not a big deal if you have just the two of them. I just have lots of them on here. So I'm going to click on Test Team and then Next. Okay, so this is the page that shows up, and you can see that I haven't created any assignments here. So I want to create something. I want to assign something or create something. So I'm going to hit Create. Now you'll notice that it says from existing, quiz, or an assignment. So I think I made a quiz, so I'm not sure. Let me just think this through. From existing, well, didn't I already make it? So it might be that one. Let's click on it and see what it says. So you can see that this is really assignments that I've already assigned. See, it says choose a class to reuse from that class that I already have assigned. So that's not the one I want. All right, let's click out of that one. So I'm going to click Create again. Remember, from existing just means from another class, and you want to use the same thing that you assigned to another class, and that would be fine. But if I want to assign the quiz or form that I just made that nobody has been assigned to, then I'm going to click on Quiz. Let's see what that does. All right. Now you can see Forms. Add the quizzes you create. Well, we just created two, so when we can see them right here. Here's music theory, and here's the reading questions. All right, so let's assign the music theory. That's the quiz. This one is the form where it just had open-ended questions that you would have to go back and read and then grade for yourself. But let's go ahead and click on this one. Did you notice that on quiz, I'm going to click out of this again. It's kind of a little misleading because it doesn't say form on here. It says quiz. Just remember that when you create something in Forms, it's going to be a quiz or a form. I'm going to show you another way here. This might be a little quicker for you, clicking on assignments, because then it just pops right up instead of having to go through all your different classes if you have multiple classes. Okay, so I'm creating, this would be an assignment that we haven't created yet, which we will, but we want to go back to our forms. Confusing. All right, so this was the quiz, and actually I probably should have gone back on here and said music theory quiz just to keep it straight. So let me actually do that real quickly. I don't like that, so I'm going to go back to, now you notice that my forms isn't showing up here. So I'm going to go ahead and click to home base. Sometimes it does that. So then you can find it here. I'm going to go back on here because I don't like that title. It's kind of confusing. It might be confusing for kids too. So I'm going to go back over here. By the way, these three ellipses, let's click on it and see what happens. That's where we can delete it from. Well, we don't want to delete it, but anyway, that's so you know. And click on that. And I am going to, how do I edit this? Well, let's just click in the box and see what happens. Aha, it just leads me. It's going to let me edit it because I'm the one that created it. I'm going to add the word quiz. Okay, I'm just going to preview that really quickly. Yep, it changed it. All right, I'm going to click back. And I'm going to go back to my teams. Let's start this over again. All right, so it just popped up where I was before. So I'm going to create. I'm going to find my quiz that I just created. Remember, you have to create it in Forms first. I'm going to click on this. That's the one I want. And click Next. And now you'll see right here, see this bar Don't click out of this until you know it's been uploaded. That means it's still thinking. There it goes. So super important to look at that for a little bit. And you'll see once it's been uploaded that you have this option here. Let's just click on it and see what it says. Well, the only option is to open it in Teams. So obviously so you'll have other options for other things, but that one is only one option. Now, it said 10 points possible. I cannot edit it from here because I already put it in the actual form. If I want to edit and make the points different, I'm going to have to go back into Forms and edit it from Forms and then upload it to my assignments. All right, you can see the title, Music Theory Quiz. If I wanted to add a category, I'm going to enter some instructions. Please take this quiz. Reread your answers before you click submit. Okay. Now I didn't submit in big letters, so just to remind them that they need to click submit at the bottom. All right, so I assigned it to test team. Well, if you wanted to assign it to different places, let's see if we have other options. Oh, it looks like something's happening with the internet, so I'm just gonna wait for a second. Oh, there we go. All right, so click on there and see if it gives me any of the other options. Look, so if I wanted to, if I like that same quiz, I'm gonna use it for another class, well then I could do it in 2 different places. And then it saves me time. All right, so, but I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to click out of the box. So I'm assigning it to test team. And then, for some reason, if you just wanted the assignment to go to one particular student, I don't know, maybe they bombed something and you wanted to resend it to them or something, I guess you could do that, but this is going to all students. And then here's the due date. So today is the 6th, so let's say I want it to be due the 10th. And this is pretty much due at midnight. And it says down here, assignment will post immediately with late turn-ins allowed. Well, I like that just because then you want him to turn it in, regardless if it's late or not. You don't want him to get locked out. All right, I'm going to reread everything just to make sure. It's a quiz. Please take this quiz. Reread your answers before you click submit. There's the quiz, there's my points, yep, I like those points, or, oh, wait a minute, that doesn't seem right, I'm going to go back and edit it, but that seems fine. I'm assigning it to test team, I'm assigning it to all students, here's my due date. All right, I think I'm ready to go, and now I'm going to click, this is the important part, assign. You could save it for later, but we'll go ahead and click assign, and there it is. You can see that it's assigned. And I see that I have my notifications on, so I see that something just popped up that I just did something, which is I just made an assignment. Okay, I'm going to create another assignment. So remember, we're still in assignments. And I'm going to create an assignment. Let's click on that one. And you remember that I made another form. So I'm going to click on that. And there's my reading. This is the one that's open-ended, so there's no point value. And I'm going to click on that one, and I'm going to click Next. Now again, see, it's thinking, don't do anything until you see that it uploads. There it goes. And once it's done, you can see the ellipsis. All right, reading, here's the title, Reading Question, Chapter 2. And if let's say I just want to add the word form, just so it helps me to know that's the form, and I have to go back in there and grade it myself, however you want to do it. And this is to make sure you read Chapter 2 in The Bears Came to Eat My Lunch. Before you take this, or let's see, how about not take a quiz, because not necessarily a quiz, before you complete this form. How about that? Or you could say complete this assignment. Make sure you read chapter 2 in the bears. Let's add some quotations. The bears came to eat my lunch before you complete this form. Okay, there's no points because it's open-ended. Remember, that's the difference between a form and a quiz. I'm assigning it to test team, assigning it to all students. I want to allow them to turn it in late. Assignment will post immediately with late turn-ins allowed. And I'm going to assign this again to Friday. Assign. Okay, and you can see that there's the due dates. And you can see that I got another notification that I have an assignment here. Now I'm going to create something else. So I'm going to create, and remember, from an existing means from another class. I didn't make another quiz or form. This is an actual different kind of assignment that I want to create. So I'm going to do something from Office 365 so that you can see a different way to assign something. So I'm going to click on assignment. All right. So I can do this title later. So let's see, I'm going to add a resource. So this is where if I wanted to upload different documents from my Office 365 or wherever you have it on your computer, but hopefully it's in Office 365, you can upload it here. So I'm going to go ahead and add the resource first. So you can see that I've got a couple different options. Here's my OneDrive, which is Office 365 OneDrive. If I had something in Class Notebook, which I don't, or down here, upload from this device. Let's say you haven't uploaded it to Office 365, it's just on your computer, then you just get it from your own device. But in this case, I created something, so I'm just going to scroll down here. And here we go. Beginning of Jesus' ministry. So this is a docx here. Okay, so I'm going to click on that. That's what I want to upload. And then I click attach. Okay, again, it is thinking. It's not uploaded yet, so hold on a second. Now over here, just so you see, it says by default, students can't edit this file. To change their permissions, click more options here. Okay. So here you can see students can't edit. Well, obviously I want them to edit it because I want them to fill it out. So let's click over here and see. Aha, students edit their own copy. Let's click on that one. And now you can see that they can edit their own copy. And when students open it up, they will click on this ellipsis. It's really best to keep telling them to click on these. And then when they see it, which I'll show it to you in just a minute, they're going to click on Open in Word Online, but I'll come back to that. All right, so they are going to edit their own copy. I'm going to add a title, Beginning of Jesus' Ministry. Okay, and instructions. Please edit. Let's see, how about please answer the questions on this document. Don't forget to click turn in once you are finished. That's really important because I think a lot of them are doing it but then forgetting to turn it in. I'm going to show you what it looks like on their end in just a minute. Okay, so please answer the questions on this document. Don't forget to click turn in once you are finished. And I just added resources. That's what this is. Don't forget to make sure they can edit it. So the reason why some of it you don't want them to edit, maybe it's just a resource like if they were taking a test and you were allowing them to look at some notes that you had written or a PowerPoint that you had written and you're allowing them to look at it, well then you don't really want them to edit your PowerPoint notes. It's just for them to look at while they're taking their test if you're allowing that. So that's really the reason why you're doing this. And if I want to add a point value, let's say if they turned it in just for a completion grade, I'm going to give them 10 points. Just because. If I want to add a rubric, I can do that here, just so they know what is expected. If it's something that's a little bit more creative. I'm assigning it to test team to all students. This one is due the 10th as well. Okay, so let's go back up to the top, make sure everything's good. Beginning of Jesus' ministry. Please answer the questions on this document. Don't forget to click turn in once you are finished. Okay. Students can edit it. 10 points. All right, I think I'm good, so I'm going to assign it. Okay, so I'm going to click on this one just to see what it looks like. This is if I wanted to edit it. Oh, I did it too quickly. This assignment is still distributing to students. Please try again later. So let's go back. So it's still thinking, and actually as I look here, I only have 2 notifications, so that means that one of them hasn't quite gone through yet. So I'm going to have to wait. It took just a few minutes, just as a little bit of a lag there, but now you can see that there are 3 assignments. So I'm going to click on these just to see from the student view what it looks like. Okay, so if I wanted to edit the assignment, I click here, and I want to see what it looks like from the student's view. Please answer the questions on this document. Don't forget to click turn in once you are finished. Now you're not going to see that up here right now because they actually haven't done anything on it. I'm going to go back. Looks like something's going on with the internet, so I keep seeing retry. So just keep that in mind, that if you've uploaded something, it might not have completely gone through. Just want to double check. So I'm going to go back here. I can see that I can click on here, but remember, you really want it to click on those 3 ellipses so that they will open in Word Online if it's an online document that you want them to type on. Okay, I'm going to go back. Where did the other assignment go? Let's see. Now there's only 2 for some reason. Let's see, ungraded. See what's going on here. There's only 2 assignments for some reason. I know it's there. So I'm going to go ahead and just click out of Teams for a second. And I'm going to relaunch it again. See what happens. This just happened a few minutes ago. Now it's back there. So not exactly sure what happened, but sometimes if that's happening and you just close it out, go back to home base, and relaunch it. Okay. So those are 3 different examples. This was the online document you want them to type on. And once they turn it in, you'll be able to see it and click on it and see what their answers are. This was the form where you'll have to go back and look at their answers. And this is the quiz where it will be graded for you. And remember, you'll be able to click on grades to see who has turned in their assignments. And I don't have any kids in my class, so that's why nothing's showing up here. But if you did, you'd see down there, music theory quiz, reading questions, and then everything would show up down here. Okay, let's go back to assignments. Make sure that one's there again. There it is. And that is how you can do 3 different kinds of assignments in Teams. If you have specific questions, you can always talk to somebody on your campus that's really mastering this, and they might be able to give you some other help on it or answer some questions. All right, signing off. Thank you, and good luck.